live in North Carolina for a little while, so I have personal experience with a little bit of there. But there is some stuff going on in North Carolina, everybody. And it ultimately boils down to the Democratic Party of North Carolina is garbage. Like, and this is the headline here. So this is what happened. Democrats in North Carolina are garbage. Now, Republicans are going to pass anti-abortion, veto-proof legislation. They're going to do all kinds of transgender right stripping. They're probably going to do a drag ban because that's a huge concern of North Carolinians. And why? Because the Democrats are fucking useless fucking garbage. Useless fucking garbage is the Democratic caucus. I hate to say it, but that's just the case. But let's read this situation. I got a couple videos to watch of stupid fucking bitch number 78,415. A Democratic state lawmaker in North Carolina announced Wednesday that she is jumping to the Republican Party, giving the GOP veto-proof majorities in both of the state's legislative chambers that could make it easier to enact conservative policies over the opposition of Governor Roy Cooper, who is a Democrat. And now I say this having met the governor of North Carolina, as well as the Attorney General, Joshua Stein, who is, again, somebody that doesn't actually give a fuck about their job. These are Democrats that only care about, like, treating the government like it's House of Cards. You know, that Netflix show that had, like, a really fucked up pedophile on it? But, like, that's the kind of Democrats that you often see in the South, especially in a state like North Carolina, right? These are fucking losers. They're useless, spineless, cowardly fucking losers that think that they're Kevin Spacey in House of Cards, but they're not, and they don't know how to fucking play the game of politics to save their fucking lives, okay? Now, again, I've made multiple videos on why I think the Democratic governor and Attorney General, I met them both, and I think they're trash. I think Roy Cooper is a terrible person. I think Josh Stein is a terrible person. These are awful people. Now, again, Josh Stein is running for governor, by the way, so that's why I call him out. Why am I making a story about Republicans being evil all about Democrats? Because how the fuck could you not see this coming, number one, and plan against it? And do something to keep this bitch inside the fucking caucus? I mean, seriously. Unless you're telling me that the governor's mansion and the executive branch of the state just didn't know. They didn't know? I don't know what's worse. That they did know and didn't do anything about it, or that they didn't know? I genuinely don't know what would be worse. You're telling me that the state Democratic Party didn't know any of this was happening? Whether the switch by Charlotte area rep Tricia Gotham will soon result in further abortion restrictions in the nation's 9th most populous state remains unclear, given her support for abortion rights during her earlier stint in the General Assembly. Now, here's the thing. This stupid fucking soulless fucking dumb fuck campaigned in a solidly Democratic district as a left of center, but overall moderate Democrat. She was in favor of things, that most Democrats are in favor of, but she wasn't as far right, seemingly, as someone like a Joe Manchin. Well, obviously that's not true. Why? Because she lied. Because that's what politicians do. She lied. She just said what was popular to win a primary, to win a general in a solid blue district, lied about it, and then flip-flopped immediately to the Republican side. So again, whatever this stupid fucking goddamn ghoul has ever said doesn't matter. Now again, I want to play her little fucking goddamn dumb fuck speech here in a moment. But I just really, I hate North Carolina Democrats because they are indicative of every problem that everyone has with the National Democratic Party. You see that in a state like North Carolina. Look at another purple state, for example, that has a Democratic Party that actually gives a fuck. Michigan. They got it's a purple state. It's like 45, 55 every election, you know, in that round, in that realm. Their Democrats actually give a fuck. And they now have a trifecta in Michigan, a Democratic trifecta. So why didn't that happen in North Carolina? Because the Democratic Party in North Carolina are cowardly fucking losers that don't know how to campaign. Now, I'll say this again. North Carolina also, what happened in the Senate elections over the last 2 Senate elections in North Carolina? We had relatively decent, not great, nothing like, you know, a Bernie Sanders type, but very good, you know, compared to the average Democrat, primary challengers, not challengers per se, but just primary candidates in North Carolina on the Democratic side for both of the recent Senate elections. And then they got beaten because Chuck Schumer, who is a New York senator, you might not know this, Chuck Schumer is a senator from New York, went to North Carolina and funded the corporate, moderate, fucking loser mainstream candidates, and they win the primary and then lose the general. And that happens every time in fucking North Carolina because the state Democratic Party are a bunch of spineless cowards that let someone like Chuck Schumer just walk into the state, drop a bunch of money. Is the state Democratic Party going to put up a fight and say, hey, actually, maybe you're funding people that are going to lose? No, because they're on the take. They're going to get paid off. They're going to keep their positions while they lose every fucking election. And then you take a situation where North Carolina is a state full of stupid motherfuckers. Stupid motherfuckers live in this goddamn state. I know, I used to live there. So there's a bunch of dumb fuck. And I haven't even gotten to the videos yet, by the way. There's videos here. I know I should always play the videos first, but I always rant first. Anyway, stupid motherfuckers that think, well, we're going to vote for Republicans and we're going to send them to the U.S. Senate. But here in North Carolina, you know, we support checks and balances. So, you know, in order of being fair, we're going to vote for Republicans for the Senate. But then we're going to vote for a Democrat governor. It's the same voting block. They're all statewide elections. How is it that motherfucking Tom Tillis can win a goddamn election? Statewide election, Republican for Senate, and Roy Cooper gets like didn't Roy Cooper get like 58% or some shit? Like, fuck me. So again, we have a bunch of stupid motherfuckers in North Carolina that were like, well, I'm a little smarter than the extreme partisans, and so I'm gonna vote for Republicans and Democrats. Well, now the Democratic governor essentially means nothing, because they got a veto-proof majority. Now, again, there's some stuff like, you know, again, state agencies that the governor's, power still can yield some not terrible results for. But still, I can't fucking stand these fucking shit-fuck Democrats that talk a big game during these elections. Oh, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. Then they get elected and they do fucking nothing. They can't even keep their people in check. So anyway, with all that being said, let's see what this stupid... Now, again, by the way, a bribe is what this bitch took. You're going to tell me she just switched to the Republican Party? She giving the Republican Party the veto-proof majority. She just did that on a whim. She was like, you know what? I'm really rethinking this whole women shouldn't be property thing. I'm thinking, well, maybe women should be property. So I'd like to announce I'm going. You think she made a fucking genuine ideological shift? No, she took a bunch of money right? In the form of maybe a committee position, in the form of maybe she's going to get to hold the gavel a couple more times than she would have. Maybe she'll get a couple speaking arrangements. Maybe, hey, maybe she'll get a lobbying gig after she loses her next election, which she definitely will. But let's watch a little bit of this speech. I mean, like, just look at this fucking... Look at this smile. This is like this is like an AI... You know that fucking AI software, Midjourney, that creates AI images and they always have the fucked up hands? Like, if you were to give that shit a fucking text prompt of, like, politician... but like an evil politician from like a Paranormal Activity style ghost movie about to deliver a speech of a lifetime. And this is like, seriously, I'm saying this is scary to look at. This is scary to look at. You ever see that movie Smile? It came out last year as a horror film. That's this fucking shit. That's, Jesus fucking Christ. Look at this fucking bitch's smile. She's like, like, what the fuck? All right, let's watch.
I have decided to change my party affiliation, joining the Republican Party, and have been welcomed with open arms by...
You don't fucking say. Like, I love that these stupid, dumb fucking morons are like, well, the Republicans were nice to me. You don't fucking say, bitch! You're about to give them veto-proof fucking majority. No shit, they're gonna be nice to you. Like, hello? Like, does this stupid fucking fuckface dumbass fucking moron understand anything about... Now, obviously, she does, right? But she knows, and she's correct in this assumption, that North Carolinian voters are fucking stupid. She knows that. They all do. Every one of these people... I mean, look at this guy smiling over here. I don't know if you can see him. But every one of them know that the people that vote in elections in North Carolina are fucking dumb. They're fucking stupid. And they won't understand that, oh, there is going to be a shift in power. So they're obviously going to butter up to her and offer her things. Maybe not directly in the form of cash, but power and money and wealth. In the form of maybe a cushy job, a position in the Republican hierarchy, right? So they're going to listen because her voters and the average voter in North Carolina is so fucking stupid that they can get away with this. That's why politicians do this fucking shit. Because they know that at least 51% of people that are going to be voting, because if you're not voting, by the way, you're irrelevant. You're irrelevant. If you're not voting, these politicians, they don't fucking give a fuck about you. They're not going to pretend to give a fuck about you. So they know that of the voting population, they can get away with whatever they want. Because the average voter, just in America, but also in North Carolina, is fucking stupid. I would like any evidence to the contrary, but let's keep going.
My colleagues, and I'm glad to call you all my colleagues. As long as I have been a Democrat, the Democrats have tried to be a big tent. But this now where we are, modern day Democratic Party, has become unrecognizable to me and to...
Now, you hear this a lot from these why I left the left dumb fuck shitheads. But do they ever explain, other than they're too woke? Yeah, they're woke. Woo! Ha-ha! They're so woke! Do they ever explain what exactly is wrong with the so-called modern they always say this, by the way. Look at this.
Unrecognizable to where we are, modern day Democratic Party.
And they always say this, you know, like this party
has become unrecognizable to me and to so many others throughout this state and this country. All of this sense of control. I will not be controlled by anyone.
Now again, hold up. They're about to clap, right? Because she's dancing for them. She's the puppet and they're clapping. I will not be controlled by anyone. She says, as she sells her fucking soul and her own rights to a party that are going to attempt at all costs to strip away the rights of transgender and gay North Carolinians, as well as anybody that is thinking about starting a family in North Carolina. You're not going to have as many rights as you used to about 5 years ago. But she won't be controlled. She won't be controlled. But again, she knows she's under control. She says this because the average voter is too dumb to even look at this, to even care about it, to do anything about it. Like, again, you have to, one, know this is happening. Have enough media literacy and, like, awareness of the world around you to know it's happening. That's step one. How many North Carolinians do you think are going to see? I don't even live there anymore. I used to live there, but I don't live there anymore. So how many North Carolinians do you think are going to see this story? Or just like a glimpse, a headline. Someone at work, oh, did you hear the power shifted in the state legislature? How many North Carolina, just think about it. I'm serious. I'm asking this. 40%, maybe 30% of the people, the population, not the voting population, maybe 30% of the population is even going to know about this, right? Maybe. And that's, I could be way off, right? But then, how many of that subset are actually going to think, wow, there's something weird here. There's got to be some bribery. Let's look into this. Okay. How many are actually going to do something about it? Let's say, call somebody in, their state representative, let's say, maybe they're going to call like lawyers in the area, see if you can get some sort of like, a case involved for like, hey, there's very obvious bribery going on here. Maybe you could try to get an ethics and protest possibly. So again, how many even know that this is happening? Almost none. How many know about it and would want to do something about it? Almost none. And how many know about it, would want to do something about it, and are doing something about it? Almost none. But then there's also another subset of that subset. We're playing the Russian dolls thing, right? Like, just bear with me here. How many people who, again, know about it, care about it, want to do something about it, are going to do something about it, and then have the actual, let's say, finances, any amount of resources. Let's say they have 1 million followers on TikTok, who cares? But have the power to actually make something happen. And the answer is 0. And as long as the answer is 0, politicians are going to do this fucking dirty side dealing because they know they're fine. And again, oh, what is her biggest threat right now? Oh, she's going to lose re-election. Oh, she's going to lose a re-election? Dear heavens. This move is probably going to set her up for a cushy job. Right? And if it doesn't, I mean, she's even dumber than I thought. So, okay, she's going to lose an election and then go work at the fucking RNC for the North Carolina. Like, oh, she's going to lose the election. Dear heavens. Right? Like, so again, as long as the list of people that have the power to do anything about anything stays at 0, which it currently is, these politicians are going to fuck your shit up over and over and over again, and no amount of protest matters. But I want to dive deeper into here because, I used to live in North Carolina. I've done a lot of North Carolina-based news coverage, so I know a lot of my audience lives there. So let's keep going here because, there's more. So again, she's like, I will not be controlled.
And this country. All of this sense of control. I will not be controlled by anyone. They have pushed me out. They have made it Carolina is the Republican Party. It's an honor to be here.
Can barely fucking hear this shit. Like, why did it get like so goddamn quiet all of a sudden? Jesus fucking Christ. The audio just like went down like by half. Watch it get loud again after I bump it.
Today, I thank you all so very much. We are working together as statesmen and stateswomen. Unfortunately, that is talk in the Democratic Party that that's a good thing, but there is little action.
What? It's talk in the Democratic Party that working together is a good thing. First of all, it shouldn't be. But up until now, the Democrats were in the minority. So they didn't have...
when it comes to that. And if I do that, I was considered a traitor, I was told. A spy.
Like the House has already been said, just not every...
So again, stupid fucking bitch. But wait, you might be thinking that's it, right? That's it. There's no way there could be more, right? Right? Well, the answer is wrong because she went on Fox News. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get through 4 of these minutes here, but she went on Fox News. And when was this? 1 day ago? Let's watch. Let me lower the volume a little bit. I don't know how Fox's levels are.
In fact, have had a good run of the table right now, not only in the Chicago's mayor's race, but it happened in Wisconsin for the state Supreme Court. I could see it filled by a Democrat, progressive one at that, meanwhile tipping that Supreme Court in favor of Democrats. Very powerful Supreme Court in the state of Wisconsin, but it's not a complete run of the table for progressives right now. In fact, in North Carolina, there's a story of a Democratic representative who wants to become a Republican. That representative, Tricia Coughlin, joins us right now, the North Carolina state representative, who is switching formally from the Democratic Party.
So, real quick, if anybody wants any possible reason why she did this, she's on Fox fucking News. Someone who nobody knew anything about is now on national news. Well, you know, news, right? But so Exhibit A on why she would do this publicity stunt.
To the Republican Party. Representative, good to have you. Why are you doing this?
Thank you so much. It's an honor to be on your show. This is something I've really thought long and hard about since I've entered this chamber in January. I had served previously for 10 years and then took a break and came back with the intent, as always, to be a public servant, to really be a stateswoman, do greater good for all of the great state of North Carolina.
So these dumbass motherfuckers often say words like statesman and stateswoman. Can we, like, you know how, like, Republicans love to do, like, what does this mean? You know, like, that's their meme. Can someone, just anyone, whenever you are around a politician and can ask them a question and they say shit like statesman or stateswoman, can you just ask them, what is a stateswoman? I'm just curious. What does it mean to be a woman of the state? Like a statesman. The great statesmen and stateswomen. What does that mean? Like, what the fuck does that mean? You know, the answer is, of course, it doesn't mean anything. But
I noticed some pretty big changes in the Democratic Party right when I got here, and it was very disturbing. I caught a lot of flack over the fact that on my car and on various things I display the American flag, that I talk a lot about my importance and belief in my faith, and I've used Jesus several times when I've led our chamber.
now, real quick, is anyone actually going to believe that a Democratic official, an elected member of the North Carolina House or North Carolina Senate, like, took her aside one day and said, why do you keep talking about God? She wants a... Did you tape it? Do you have evidence of this? A politician in North Carolina is going to ask her to stop believing in God? Like, can I meet them? Can you out them? But, like, that's the thing. You're burning bridges, right? So burn the bridge. Who was it that told you not to believe in God to be a good Democrat? I want to meet them. They would be like the first atheist ever elected to office, as far as I know. Let me meet that person. I want to, as an atheist who also hates people that believe in God, please, for the love of fucking God, tell me who they are. But it's not real, because no one would ever tell her that. Could you imagine running for office in North Carolina? North fucking Carolina. Imagine running for office as an atheist. Jesus. I mean, fuck. These people are dumb as fuck, but they want us to believe it. And again, this is when I talk about, a lot of people they jump on my shit when I start shitting on the good Christians. What about the good Christians? What about the good Christians? Oh, whenever you're so mean to religion, don't you just mean religious fundamentalists? Religious extremists? And no, the answer is all religion is bad. No exception. Okay? And especially not an exception of the dominant religion that controls the government. Right? So there's a lot of countries where the tables are turned. Where, let's say, Islam is a dominant religion and they persecute people that don't believe in Islam. That's bad. Because you're, again, persecuting people that are a minority. In the United States, we have Christianity, right? If you are a so-called good Christian, and yet you are still dancing around as if Jesus is real, and Jesus has any power at all, then guess what? All you are doing is protecting hierarchy. All you're doing is enabling dishonest actors. Oh, no. I'm a good Christian. Jesus is definitely real. Adam and Eve are totally real. The world is 6,000 years old. But I don't want to kill gay people. I'm a good Christian. Do you hear yourself? Do you hear yourself? Seriously? When you pretend that religion is special at all, it leads to shit like this. This is a good Christian. Because she can say, well, my faith, my Bible tells me, my Jesus was talking to me and said, you should be a Republican because they love freedom, and Jesus would have been a Republican too. My Bible says this and that. Your Bible is a bunch of fucking bullshit. There is no Bible. By the way, you speak English? You've never read the Bible. You've never read the Bible. By the way, you live in the 21st century? You've never read the Bible. You live in the 20th century, you never read the Bible. 19th century, you never read the Bible. No matter what language you speak. 18th century, you never read the Bible. Why? Because guess what? The most popular Bibles that exist are the ones that a couple of fucking kings rewrote. They literally just rewrote the Bible like 500 years ago or so. I mean, they've done it obviously hundreds of times, but in a shift of popularity, just a bunch of kings rewrote the Bible to put in a bunch of stuff about worshiping kings, because the original Bible, I don't know if you knew this, the original Bible didn't really like the idea of kings, right? Because you're supposed to worship God, not a king. So they removed all that stuff and said king too, worship God, but also the king. So especially if you speak English, but also if you are not a time traveler, you've never read the actual Bible. So anyone who's out there saying, the Bible tells me, which Bible? Did you read the one in the original fucking language? Oh, no, you didn't read the Bible. Did you time travel back in time and read the original fucking scrolls and scriptures? No, you didn't. Therefore, you probably read like the fucking King James version, which is just a bunch of fucking garbage hoopla meant to make you a bunch of fucking morons. And that, again, is sadly all the good Christians. They're just fucking stupid. They're just fucking... There is no such thing as a good Christian. Now, again, you could be a good person, right? And also be Christian. I'm not disputing that. But you cannot be a good Christian because it's fundamentally oxymoronic. It's like, oh, what about good cops? when you are enabling the fantasy that there is such a thing as Jesus and that Jesus is better than someone else, therefore justifying hierarchy, you are allowing these institutions to exist. You can criticize them, but your criticism doesn't really mean anything. Actions speak louder than words. If you think religion is a net negative, even if you believe in Jesus, I personally think that anyone that believes in Jesus is stupid. Now, again, if you believe in, let's say, deism, right? What is deism? There could be a God. It's relatively agnostic. Right? So it's like, there could be a God. There probably is. But obviously, they're not really too concerned about what's going on here. That's deism. I respect that. You don't really know. But if you believe in Christianity, Jesus was a man who was also God, and then there's like a ghost somewhere, and then he came back because he's a zombie, you're dumb. You are dumb. You are a dumb person. No one should listen to you. Now, I just want to play the rest of this because it gets better. We get more stuff here, so let's check this out.
In-house prayer. I was told you can never trust a dim who wears camo. And just this week.
So, like, what is she referring to here? She's probably, like, if I were to wager a guess, if I were to put money on this, she's probably just, like, reading a tweet she got. And, again, no one knows who this bitch is. She probably has like negative 16 followers on every social media page she has combined. So she's probably reading like the 3 tweets that have ever been sent to her in her life. Right? That's probably, never trust a damning camo. Who would say that in the Democratic caucus? Who would say that? North Carolina. North Carolina is the most populous state for military personnel. Again, in this bitch's dumbass schizophrenic fantasy land, North Carolina Democrats hate God and hate the military. It's one of the most religious states in the country. It is the military capital of the country, and secretly all the elected Democrats hate God and hate the military. Like, now again, I do hate God and I do hate the military, so I'm willing to speak on behalf of those people, and I can tell you they don't exist. I lived in North Carolina for many years. I'm telling you they don't exist. Now, again, they might exist as people in North Carolina, but as elected Democrats, there is zero out of whatever the number is, 0 elected Democrats are going around saying, you know, God sucks and so does the military. That never happens, right? These North Carolina Democrats suck God's dick so much that, like, I don't even know how to come up with a way to describe how much they suck God's dick. And they suck the military's dick so much. And she wants us to believe that. Because why? Because the average person watching this is going to go like, yep, those Democrats really hate it. Yep, those Democrats. Yep. Yeah, that checks out. Yeah, those Democrats have gotten too woke. Oh, God. Fuck.
Called an ammo-sexual. That do support gun rights. She
got called an ammo-sexual. Yo, I'm not gonna lie. She is literally just reading out like the 4 tweets that anyone, like, she has been a politician for what, 12 years with like a break in the middle. She's just reading out like the 4 messages of fan mail or hate mail that she's gotten. Like, you're telling me I'm supposed to believe that the Democratic minority whip of North Carolina's House walked up to her and whispered, you know, we don't really appreciate how much of an ammo-sexual you're being out there. Yeah, I'm supposed to believe that in North Carolina. I'm supposed to believe that I know I said it multiple times, but she is saying this because at least 51% of people watching this are going to be like, yeah, no, yeah, no, Democrats really bad, yeah, you get them.
That might seem minor, but that is very much absolutely out of everything our country stands for and what I believe. And I came here to be that leader. I have a strong record of working with Republicans since I started. That is extremely important to me. Instead, I saw the Democratic Party just want to make excuses to focus on very small matters.
I'm sorry, Representative, we're very tight for time here. We're very tight for time. I apologize.
Very tight for time. We only got 4 minutes for you. You're talking about policy. She almost talked about policy. Did you hear this, by the way? She almost started talking about policy on accident. I know every politician, what they're afraid of, like, you know how like people have phobias, like, oh, I'm afraid of heights, I'm afraid of spiders, I'm afraid of this, I'm afraid of that, right? You show someone a photo of a spider and they go, ah, right? You show a politician the word policy, ah, ah! But she accidentally, almost, kind of, possibly, in some interpretation, could have mentioned something almost a little related to policy. And this guy's like, whoa, buddy, let's get back on how mean the Democrats are. Like, listen to this. She's about to talk about, like, guns or some shit. And then this guy is like, guns? I want to hear about the Democrats being woke.
The Democratic Party just want to make excuses to focus on very small matters.
I'm sorry, Representative, we're very tight for time here. We're very tight for time. I apologize for that. I did want to get a sense of the reaction you got from your old Democratic friends, what they...
Oh, you think the Democrats, you're telling us about what they want to do and how it's bad? Well, like, what is she going to say? Oh, Democrats want to give people more money. Democrats want to raise the minimum wage. And we got to figure out why that's bad, and I don't want to deal with that. So how about let's get back to how mean they was. Were the old Democrats mean to you? You tell us how mean they was to you, and I want to know. They're so mean.
They made of your move.
Well, I mean, last week they called for my resignation or for a primary challenge and have paid thousands of dollars of false ads attacking me and my family.
So a primary challenge, and they're attacking your family? Like, what, you know, you ever hear these politicians ever say this shit? They're attacking my family. They're going after my family. I mean, by the way, Republicans, what have they been doing to Joe Biden's family for the last couple of fucking goddamn years, by the way? Like, Joe Biden's got a fucked up kid, and I know more about Hunter Biden than I know about Joe Biden, and I know a lot about Joe Biden, unfortunate to say. But, like, what the fuck? Right, so this idea that, like, the Republicans, like, worship family or something. But, okay, let's put that aside for a moment, okay. But, like, isn't that kind of like how you play politics? You left the Democratic Party, so they want to challenge you. And I got news for you. It's not going to be a primary challenge. Wait, did she say primary?
Thousands of dollars called for my resignation or for a primary challenge.
There's not going to be a primary challenge. Hey, there might be. A Republican might challenge you. It's possible. But why would Democrats primary a Republican? Like, this bitch is so fucking stupid. She doesn't know what a primary... I mean, she knows. I mean, she probably misspoke, but fuck me.
And have paid thousands of dollars of false ads attacking me and my family.
Also, can we talk about what is a false ad? I'm just curious. Like, what is a false ad attacking your family? Right, I was gonna talk about that. Like, can we watch the ad? Like, is there an ad where it's like, you might know Trisha Gotham, but do you know her eldest son graduated high school in 2000 whatever? Like, is that really what the ad is? Like, they're attacking your family? Really? You might know about Trisha Gotham, but do you know about her fourth uncle from South Carolina and his secret trip to, like, what? Why would anyone spend money on an advertisement, a false ad no less, about this bitch's family? Like, what? Like, does anyone believe this shit? I know they do. That's the thing. I know it's funny to me. It's funny to you, but they do believe it. North Carolina voters are fucking stupid. They believe this shit, or at least they're not going to see it because they don't fucking give a fuck enough to actually pay attention to what's going on in their fucking shithole state, right? And again, I don't even know what the fuck's going on with the Democratic Party, especially under Roy Cooper's leadership. Roy Cooper, Jesus fucking Christ, talk about the dumbest fucking dumb fuck in the history of Democratic dumb fucks in that fucking state. Probably not. There's a lot of really dumb fuck Democrats in North Carolina, but he's up there for sure. Anyway, let's see if we can keep going.
So they're getting what they want and what they deserve, and I think this will start a trend throughout our country because people have had enough, and the partisanship of
Enough of what, by the way?
Personal lives, and going after my two children. I'm a single mom.
Again, going after her children? Like, if I go and visit my family that lives in North Carolina, right? And you know when you go on a family visit, about 3 hours in, you said everything there needs to be said. Everyone's kind of bored. Let's go check out what's on TV. So, I'm going to go for a family reunion. We're going to get bored of each other in 2.5 minutes. We're going to turn on the TV, and I'm going to see a commercial. Now, by the way, a commercial in April of 2023. The closest election is like over a year from now. So you're telling me Democrats are going to spend money because they hate God and Jesus and the military in North Carolina. They hate all of those things so much that they're going to spend money like 20 months before the next election running ads about your kid. The next election, again, it is 2023, April of 2023. In 1 year from now, we will still be like 7 months away from an election. In a year from now! And this bitch is like, oh yeah, they're spending ads money on me and my kids! Really? No, I mean, the answer is no.
So it was an easy decision.
So very quickly, were there any who said, Representative, I want to join you? I'm just too afraid of what the reaction will be from my Democratic colleagues.
I've heard that over the past few months, for sure. It takes a lot to do this. I
just want to say this. She has not heard that. Like, I just want to clarify for anyone that needs it. She has never heard that. Okay.
I'm a risk taker. I do what I think is right, even if I am the only one doing it. That is who I am and what I believe. Certainly willing to talk to others and see if they're interested.
So anyway, that's her 10 minutes of national media attention. I know, I spent way too long on that, didn't I? Fucking North Carolina. I don't know, I like North Carolina a little bit. I got a soft spot. Even though it's a dumb fuck state full of dumb fuck motherfucks, I got a soft spot for old North Carolina. But again, I want everyone, my takeaway, if I were to give you a takeaway, it would be politicians lie so brazenly and so easily and violate every law in the book. She obviously took money. She obviously took a bribe, right? Because the average voter is fucking stupid. That's why. Plain and simple. So, that's the takeaway. But goddamn, man. There is something going on. Something going on down there. I want to go see those fucking ads about her kids that are like 21 months away from an election. I want to see that. Yeah, the Democrats are spending money 20 months before the next election. Not about her policy proposals or positions, but about her kids. Definitely true. No citations needed. I believe that 100%.